Hey guys, welcome to our channel, Believers Come Up. So today I want to talk about a little story and kind of an update on what's going on with us behind the scenes of the sketches and the skits and stuff like that. Right now I'm at this kind of like a surprise moment of having to make a decision to leave my part-time job. I've been working at this place for almost 2 years, and it's not a place that I love, but it really helps put food on the table. And over time I've grown to understand that it's just something that I gotta do, basically something I gotta do to get to A to B to C. However, yesterday I was just really in this sense of thinking, man, what happens if I just maybe just leave my job? I don't know. I think that God is leading me to leave my job. And I kind of went back and forth with the idea for a few hours, and I was kind of just in a frame of mind of thinking that it was a bad idea, because in the past I have left jobs abruptly because I felt like that's what God wanted me to do, when secretly it was what I wanted to do. And even though there was provisions in that time between jobs, it was barely any grace. I really had to fight and push and save and scratch to get just a little bit of income. To make a long story short, I've been going through these motions for about two weeks now. Me and Lakin started making jokes like, what happened if we just out of nowhere stop working and do, like, I don't know, full-time ministry, or do what we love, our passion, full-time. But it was once again just jokes. And then I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago, I was at a Bible study, and a young woman came up to me and was like, hey, I think God's telling you just to leave your job and do full-time ministry. And I was like, whoa. It was crazy because I was just pondering about that in my head. But to kind of get to the point is, yesterday everything came to a realization where I'm thinking, wow, I really think this is what God wants. So I want to share two scriptures that I was kind of looking at. What I looked for was the word fulfillment in the Bible, and it led me to Galatians chapter 4 verse 2, and it says, I'm going to read verse 1 to 4. So Galatians 4, 1 through 4. Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differeth nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all, but is under tutors and governors until the appointed time of the Father. Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of this world. But when the fullness of time was come, God sent forth his Son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. So I just went ahead and read verse 5 also. So when I read that, I just started thinking about Jesus and who he was before his ministry. I know a lot of people say he started ministry around 30 years old. So what was he doing before that time? And looking at this verse 2, it says that he was under tutors and governors until the appointed time of his Father. So I started thinking about tutors and governors. I'm like, man, I know he was in the temple with rabbis. He was learning his craft. He was sharpening his tools, kind of like what me and Leke has been doing behind the scenes, just kind of
growing in wisdom,
mm-hmm.
and growing in favor with God and man.
Yeah, I think that time is necessary. That's why I wouldn't suggest that everybody just like, oh, I think I'm called into ministry. I think I'm called to do what I want to do as an entrepreneur. I think I'm called into my own business, and just jump right in it without having somewhat of a tutor or a governor or some type of learning, sharpening your gift. So I'm going to also read Proverbs chapter 6, 6, 7, and 8. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provided her meat in the summer and gathered her food in the harvest. So I'm reading out of the King James Version, and chapter 6 of Proverbs is titled Warning Against Idleness. So I felt like these two scriptures were kind of referencing each other. They were kind of going hand in hand, because in Galatians 4:2 it says, but is under tutors and governors until the appointed time. And then in Proverbs 6 verse 7, it says, which having no guide or overseer or ruler. So I started thinking to myself, I said, man, I know King Solomon had wrote Proverbs, but God is using him to get that message to us that the ant is wise. So we should be wise as the ant, which has no guide, overseer, or ruler. This ant doesn't have anyone that's saying, hey, clock in and clock out at this time. Hey, did you do that? Did you not do this? Hey, you're supposed to be here right now. Don't go out there and let God lead you. You're supposed to be following this rigid system. You're supposed to be a part of what I want you to do. Put on this uniform, put on this name tag, follow my rules and my command. The ant has a commander. The ant has a ruler, but the ruler is the Father. The ruler is the creator of this universe. The ruler is God, the Most High God. The ruler is Jesus, that has created the ant with an internal clock. So it's not until you get that internal clock that ticks and that fullness of time comes where you're able to really branch out on your own, whether it's in full-time ministry or, once again, even in your own business that you're doing, or even working for someone else. But whatever you do it for the glory of God.
That's right. That's right. I went through the same situation not too long ago, and I was stressed out, going back and forth to work. Started losing my hair, and it was just a bad situation. So I decided to leave my job, and through that process, I just realized that, we're in a Babylonian system. Like, this whole world is just set up. It's set up in a certain way. There's like two levels. There's like the level that God has made, and then there's the level that has been created by outside forces, or I don't know, should I say the prince of this world and the people that are underneath him. Yeah, the Babylonian system is a system where we are not really in it. We're not part of Babylon, but we're more in the situation of Daniel, where we understand it. We have a higher understanding. Like, the system we work in as being part of the kingdom is higher than the system of Babylon. So we have to use the source of the kingdom, which is the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, the love, the grace, the faith, and all the fruits of the Spirit, and know how to manipulate the Babylonian system to our advantage and for the glory of God.
Yeah, I agree. And that comes with really building a trust and an understanding of God's nature and an understanding of his kingdom. Yeah. All right, so we'll have some updates on this journey. I believe I'm going to put in my 2 weeks notice in tomorrow. So we'll have some updates along the way. And we just want to say, continue to just believe in your dreams, believe in God, trust in him, and he will open doors that no man can shut. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, believers,
keep on coming up.